I get bummed out when I see Adam Schiff. I don't know what to tell you. I do. I just do. But, and I also am skeptical about needing Republicans to present arguments for Democrats as if Democrats are children, and they when they get daddy to come in and make the argument, it somehow validates it. However, with that said, Schiff and this Republican make the case and make this very effective, I think. Again, if you think about, there's really two things that are going on here, in my mind. One is you must have a complete record and at least some measure of accountability. This is why I'm pissed that Merrick Garland is off in Ukraine right now doing what I think
is at the front
in only the loosest interpretation of what the Attorney General is supposed to be doing, something that is not his job, and not prosecuting people involved in this obvious attempt at a coup. This is about overturning an election, and there was nobody who seemed to believe it was anything other than an attempt to overturn an election, including those people who were perpetrating it. And this does a good job in getting this all on the record, creating at least some sense of, if you do this, it's wrong. And that's an important marker to put, to show in our society. The other thing is, obviously, you want it to have some type of political advantage for you. I don't think it's going to help in 2022 because this is, they're cleaving Donald Trump off from the Republicans, and they got to wait until 2023 and 24 when we all get reminded again that the Republicans are Donald Trump, period, end of story. But this is helpful in terms of at least peeling off some small percentage of people who might otherwise vote for Donald Trump for president in 2024.
President call you again in later in December?
Oh, pause it. I'm sorry. This is the Speaker of the House of Arizona, who Donald Trump called repeatedly, and his people called repeatedly to get him to send the real electors. Wink, wink. You know the ones. The good ones.
And to be clear, this guy is like a dyed-in-the-wool Trump supporter. He's an arch conservative guy. He's not some
full on, always, or 99.9% Trumper. Right. This guy.
President call you again in later in December?
He did, sir.
And did you tell the president in that second call that you supported him, that you voted for him, but that you were not going to do anything illegal for him?
I did, sir.
Nevertheless, his lawyer, John Eastman, called you some days later on June 4th, 2021. And he did have a very specific ask that would have required you to do just what you had already told the president you wouldn't do, something that would violate your oath. Is that correct?
That's correct. It wasn't just me. I had my counsel and others on the call.
And what did Dr. Eastman want you to do?
That we would, in fact, take a vote to overthrow, or I shouldn't say overthrow, that we would decertify the electors, and that because we had plenary authority to do so. And he cited Article 2, Section 1, I think it's Clause 2, and said that, in his opinion, that gave us the authority. If there was, I don't recall him saying sufficient evidence, but there was some call or some strong reason to do so, or justification to do so, that we could do that. And that he was asking that his suggestion was that we would do it. And I said, again, I took an oath. For me to take that, to do what you do, would be counter to my oath. I don't recall if it was in that conversation, clearly, that we talked more about the oath, but I said, what would you have me do? And he said, just do it and let the court sort it out. And I said, you're asking me to do something that's never been done in history, the history of the United States. And I'm going to put my state through that without sufficient proof.
I mean, at one point, this guy starts breaking up. He starts like literally tearing up a little bit over this because he was so surprised. And, you know, I've got to check myself to not sit there and say, what the F were you surprised about, dude? How could you be surprised? What? But nevertheless, it was powerful testimony, and it you know, if the Democratic Party, if the center left had half a brain, some billionaire, who are the guys like throwing around, you know, they all disappeared, but who was that dude who wanted to run for California Senate, and Tom Steyer? Oh, Steyer, yes. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened to Steyer. Wasn't he the one who wanted like the 25th Amendment? Was he pushing something that was?
I think that was like most of what the ads were about. Were literally just like impeach Trump, impeach Trump, impeach Trump. Like,
well, dude, if he was serious and wasn't just trying to set himself up for a run
or hurt Bernie Sanders somehow,
yeah, if he wasn't just trying to run interference or whatever it is he was trying to do, he would be clipping this stuff and doing like a $5 million ad buy. This is what the Republicans would be doing. Make no mistake about it. If that was like, if it was somehow reversed in some fashion, whatever like 4 or 5, 6 swing states had been isolated would be blanketed with ads as of this morning. $10 million, $5 million, $20 million ad buys, just playing this guy. From the committee to, you know, maintain American democracy. They would just be playing that ad over and over again. And they would be doing it now so that when there's like 4 more hearings, because now we have Democrats saying, well, our plan was to have 7 hearings. We've done 4 or 5, I guess, at this point. But now we're thinking we got more information. We need to do maybe 10. They're not sure yet. And so if there was any type of like inclination to do politics, they would take this stuff and pound it over and over again. Just get one line. He asked me to do something illegal. I couldn't do it. But, you know, that's the way it goes, I guess. I don't know what to say. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, and like the way that, I mean, not that this guy's just a normal person. Like you said, he was a political actor. Like, he was Speaker of the House.
Speaker of the House in Arizona. I mean,
but it is just how little that like Trump and Giuliani and any Republicans that are going along with this care about like the lower people in like even their organizational chart. They don't care about them all. They're just people that should be intimidated already. And if they aren't intimidated, like, what's the problem here?
At one point, this guy says, like, you know, I believe the Constitution is divinely inspired, I think he said. And
like he literally was like, he thinks it's like a tool of God.
No, that's where you went wrong, buddy. No.
No, it's mine.
Okay, and so, I mean,
so am I.
When I hear someone say that, I am terrified. I am terrified. And I think that's somebody who should not be in politics. But that is somebody in politics. In fact, there's a lot of those guys out there. So the next best thing to do, maybe the best thing to do, is to get over myself and then use that person. You know, you got to be careful because, I mean, now we had some falling outs with people just do like they're platforming and making prominent never Trumpers. And now, like, that is, they're everywhere. They're everywhere.